Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Ifeni. Great Malabite, good morning.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Victoria Tundu, MQ Abiola.
Good morning, Mr. Ifeni.
Yes, you had a nice weekend. I can confirm.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You've become a sorcerer now?
Yes, I'm confirming what I know. Ruben, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yes. Rufai, good morning.
Forza Italia.
Yes, let's start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of records. But before I proceed, of course, there's something that is common to all, if not major Nigerian newspapers today, and you can see it on the front page of this day. Information blackout, the campaign against that obnoxious bill rearing its head in the National Assembly. But we'll look at the stories. You literally had to search for the lead story in almost all the newspapers because of this campaign. We'll come to the campaign, but let's just look at the stories, the other stories, the front pages of the newspaper. This day, APC senators move to delegitimize future elections, democracy, mobilize against e-transmission of results, lawmakers divided over plenary voting method. I thought reason would have prevailed since the discussion about this attempt to make e-transmission of results illegal by our lawmakers. But there seemed to be no let as far as this matter is concerned. And Nigerians will have to shine their eyes, to use popular Nigerian phraseology, as these senators try to do or undo democracy in this case. But let's look at what other newspapers are also reporting. The Punch newspaper, COVID-19, third wave, states run out of vaccines. 9,057 travelers disappear. Kano exhausts 209,502 vaccine doses. Increased surveillance at Aminu Kano Airport. Bed occupancy in Lagos Isolation Center increased by 5% in 1 week. Sanwo-Olu. Now, the Guardian newspaper, Nigeria's The Guardian newspaper, has similar story. COVID-19, dreaded Delta variant hits Oyo as Lagos slips into third wave. The Daily Trust newspaper, still on COVID-19. Nigeria faces third wave as Lagos issues red alert. The Daily Sun newspaper, of course, you see the blackout, information blackout campaign on the front pages of these newspapers. The Daily Sun, Oduduwa Republic, intimidation, harassment won't stop agitation, coalition tells federal government. State policing will make governors through chief security officers, Afenifere. Now, the Daily Times of Nigeria, the Daily Times newspaper, the story above the masthead, Black Sunday as Emir, college provost, 13 others abducted in Kaduna, Zamfara. Yes, the abduction of the Emir in Kaduna State, the Emir of... trying to get the name. Okay, yes, Kajuru, the Emir of Kajuru town. Yeah, and that Kajuru town and Kajuru local government have been the hotbed of bandits' attack. They've taken citizens, they've taken children, now they have gone for the Emir. Sad thing about this is that the Emir got this information that there were attempts. He informed the security agencies, nothing happened. Now he has been taken along with 13 others by these bandits. What a country. Now, we move over to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. COVID-19, deadly Delta variant in Oyo, Lagos, reactivates restriction protocols. The Vanguard newspaper, PDP, Ndume, tango over transmission of polls result. Electronic transmission won't work in the north, says Ali Ndume. Opposes state police. PDP kicks, says poll results can be transmitted from anywhere in Nigeria, and that is the truth. Right now, all the Okada riders from the north you see around Lagos, they transfer money regularly to their folks at home. And that is done electronically. Yet, somebody will tell you electronic transmission of result will not work in the north. Some countries do have them. Yes. Business Day newspaper. Of course, you hardly find any story in the front page apart from graphs. Of course, the campaign is there in the Business Day front page. Now, the leadership newspaper, panic as bandits kidnap Emir of Kajuru in Kaduna, abduct 14 others, including Emir's grandchildren. Is a joke taken too far. Speaker, police confirm abduction of provost teacher in Zamfara. While the Abuja Inquirer, yes, the Abuja Inquirer newspaper, yes, still with the campaign, the information blackout campaign. Abuja Inquirer, cholera claims 36 in Abuja, over 514 suspected cases. FCTA moves to contain spread. Buhari hotspot with 340 cases. Now, the foreign newspapers, if you just go to the UK, no prize for guessing what's the headlines. Morning, and of course, the bad news for the English fans. The Times of UK, penalty cause denies England their dream. Southgate team lose Euro finals to Italy after missing 3 penalties in shootout. And if you look at the Guardian newspaper of UK, so close. Yes, they came very close. But the trophy has gone to the masters of the game, the Azuris. Now, the Daily Telegraph also, the ultimate agony, penalties, heartbreak again. While the Independent newspaper of UK puts it this way, tears for heroes. Yes, tears for
Bukayo.
Yes, our homeboy.
Bukayo.
Bukayo Saka.
Yes, Saka, yes. Busayo Saka, yes.
Bukayo Saka.
Busayo Saka.
Bukayo.
Okay, are you sure that's not an anglicized version of Busayo? Anyway, let's leave that. And of course, the other boys who missed their penalties. But truth must be said, the Azuris were the better side on the night. Yes, England were lucky to hit the Azuris with that early goal, but that was all they had to offer. And those old men, 2 old men, Cellini and Banucci, they stood like rock. In fact, a Spanish writer described them that Banucci and Cellini provided more security than armed forces. Not Nigerian armed forces. It was written by a Spanish journalist, so it's no reference to Nigerian armed forces. Yes. So now we come to this campaign by the Nigerian newspapers. All the newspapers have this campaign because of that obnoxious bill that is before the parliament. The outrageous bill is proposed to regulate the print media in a press code and standards, grant and revoke publishing license, register and delete journalists, as well as ensure truthful, whatever that means, genuine and quality services and media practitioners.
Okay, Emmanuel Ofeni, let's take a short break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to you. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the morning show here on the Arise News channel. Emmanuel Ofeni, the great Malabite, is still here with us reviewing top stories from newspapers around the world. Emmanuel Ofeni, back to you.
Yes, the main issue today on the front pages of Nigerian newspaper, of course, is the campaign Information Blackout. The campaign by the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Nigerian Guild of Editors, and the Newspapers Proprietors Association of Nigeria on this bill. The bill that is before the National Assembly, and the content of that bill itself targeted at private media outfits. And clearly, the bill is draconian, it's anti-press freedom, and it's a poor mix and a resurrection of the obnoxious public officers protection against false accusation decree, aka decree number 4 of 1984. And we know who was the head of state then. Then Major General Muhammadu Buhari was the head of state when that decree was promulgated. And of course, to bring that back now in one form or the other through the National Assembly is something all lovers of freedom,
Yes.
all lovers of free press, all lovers of democracy, because there can be no democracy without free press, should kick against. Ruben, Rufai, and Tundu.
Well, Ifeni, first let us commend the Nigerian Union of Journalists, the Nigerian Guild of Editors, the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, and also the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria for stepping up, for demonstrating their conviction with regard to the freedom of information regime in Nigeria. You recall that when this matter came up before the National Assembly and there was a public hearing, stakeholders in civil society and also from the media went before the committees of the National Assembly to say, one, with regard to the Nigerian Press Council bill, the matter is before the Supreme Court, and that matter has not been determined. But some of the lawmakers said, well, whatever matter is before the Supreme Court has no bearing on the functioning of the legislature, and they will go ahead to bring up whatever amendment they want to do to the Nigerian Press Council bill. And this is not new. In the 80s, when, under a similar administration, there was an attempt to control, to gag, to limit the scope of freedom of expression in Nigeria. The media in Nigeria said no. And that was what led to the creation, where I don't need to be telling you the media history of Nigeria, to the establishment of the Ombudsman Group by media groups in Nigeria, which was led by Alhaji Alade Odunwu, to say, look, if you have any complaints about violations of your rights or anything, you can approach the Ombudsman, established by the Nigerian media itself. But now, many years later, we've seen this being brought back. And then as for the Nbc Act, of course, that is also very controversial. And I think it's important that apart from issuing press releases, the media, the print media in particular, in unison, is now starting a campaign. I hope this is a campaign that will be sustained. Not all the newspapers acknowledge the source of the advertisement, of the protest. I think from tomorrow, every paper should summon the courage to say this advert was sponsored by the NUJ, the NGE, the MPAN. And I hope that other groups in Nigeria will support the media, an important organ of civil society, in saying that any form of abridgment of the right of the media to exercise its rights under Section 22 of the 1999 Constitution, Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution, and Article 19 of the International Covenant on Civil Rights would not be allowed in Nigeria. That's one. Two, as for England, yes, that's the front page story today in most of the English newspapers. But I think what remains to be added is the fact that the abuse, the racist attack on Marcus Rashford, on Bukayo Saka, and Sancho is unacceptable. In April, there was a protest by the FA in England and by players and others. They boycotted the social media, but that has not ended. I think a lot more needs to be done to sanction people who resort to racism in sports. Bukayo Saka, Rashford, anything happens in football.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
some of the greatest players missed key penalties over time. So there's nothing unusual.
I mean, Mr. Feni, I just quickly want to say this. The truth has to be said. Whoever it is planning this should not gag the media. This is replica of the British ordinances of the 1940s, how they suppressed the media. The likes of Awolowo and co were sent to jail. This is what they are doing again. Please, even the law that brought forward the NBC is draconian. We are thinking of ways to push our media forward, not to take our media back to the dark ages. Let's go to Ghanaian constitution there in 1992. You can see the inclusion in what makes up a media commission in Ghana. Interest groups, societal groups, and everybody are part of it. The media should be left to be independent. It's the fourth estate of the realm. They shouldn't take the media away from us. And really, if they do right, what are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? Why do they want to shut everybody down?
Tundu, we have enough law in the books to deal with airing media organization
we have
already.
The criminal code. You can take your libel action through that, the cybercrime laws that we have. There's no space in a democracy for fines of 5 million naira and jail terms of 3 years just because a journalist or a blogger or whoever has printed or posted something that the government of the day does not like. They are giving us a masterclass in the difference between a democracy and civilian rule, because let's not assume that all civilian rule is in fact democracy.
Well, we'll leave you with the words of Thomas Jefferson, who said, if I were to have a government without newspapers, or newspapers without a government, I would choose newspapers without a government.
Yes.
And that was Thomas Jefferson laying down the classic rule about the importance of the people's right to know. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Emmanuel Fene.